Nick Rudder from McKee's37.com. You know, for as long as I've been doing this, I've always wanted to film a video answering the question that I'm always asked. And that's, Nick, how many buffing pads do I need to buy to polish my vehicle? Well, the answer is simple. I just detailed my new to me 2015 MX-5 Miata. I've answered this question a million times. Here's a video. So if you email me and I respond with a link to a video, it'll be watching this. So this is a 2015 Mazda MX-5 Miata. I purchased it used last weekend, and I went through the process, which I have a separate video for, on the washing, the claying, the decontaminating, the polishing, the ceramic coating, the whole 9 yards. As you can see, the car looks killer. Along the way, I used two tools, the trusty Porter Cable 7424 XP, along with the Flex PXE80, with the 3 and 3/4 inch size, along with the 1 inch pad size. And I performed a single polishing step. So the vehicle did not have any swirl marks or scratches. It just needed to be cleaned up. There were some real light imperfections, and of course there was embedded dirt. So I polished it using our fast polish, which is a fine cut polish. This enhanced the gloss of the paint, removed the embedded dirt, and it looks fantastic. So for a car this size, what I ended up using was 3 of our 5 3/4 inch Redline all-in-one white foam polishing pads. And I used the larger sizes for the hood, the trunk lid, the doors, and part of the fender. So I used 3 pads total just for this machine. And then for the Flex PXE80, I used the 3 inch backing plate, and I polished the rear bumper with 1 white pad. And I polished the front bumper with another white pad. And then there were some small areas here and there where I swapped over to the 1 inch size backing plate for this tool, which this is battery powered. That's why there's no cord. Watch my video on this guy, it's sweet. For the real small areas, I used the 1 inch pad with the 1 inch plate. So altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pads for a car this small. And the reason I use so many pads is, let's say I start out with the hood, which I normally do, because you don't want to polish your fender, make it look perfect, and then be leaning over it to do the hood. So I do the horizontal surfaces first, that way they're out of the way. Then I do the vertical panels. So what happens when you polish, you're combining heat with abrasive particles, with spent residue, with the solvents that are in the polish, and all the above, they break down the foam of the pad. So after polishing the hood and the trunk lid, my pad, it'll start to lose its structural rigidity. It'll be gummed up with polish. And between each panel, what I'll do is we have our pad conditioning brush here. You'll use this just to brush out the face of the pad, and it removes some of the spent residue. But after a couple panels, the pad, like I said, becomes softer and it loses its mechanical polishing ability, which is why you want to swap over to another pad. Doing this is going to give you better results overall, and it's also going to extend pad life. If you try and polish more than a few panels with just one pad, the pad's going to get too hot, the center is going to cave in, your backing material can delaminate, so you want to have a lot of pads on hand. And I rotated to the 3rd pad to do the doors and the quarter panels before I did the front and the rear with the smaller tool. And this pad, when it was brand new, come here, take a look at this. This is a brand new foam polishing pad, and this is a used foam polishing pad. The exact same pad. This started out this color, and the reason that it's discolored like this is because of embedded dirt. So fast polish, it's a white liquid. You can see this pad, it's real dirty. And what happens during the polishing step, and one of the reasons polishing is so important, is even if you don't have swirl marks and scratches, and even if your car is just 3 months old or 6 months old, whatever it is, if it's been underneath the car cover, if it's never driven in the rain, I don't care what it is, polishing will significantly enhance the gloss of your vehicle's paint because it removes embedded dirt. Dirt that is not removed from washing and dirt that is not removed from claying. By removing that embedded dirt, you significantly enhance the gloss, the color, the clarity, the smoothness, and most importantly, your wax, sealant, or coating is going to stick much better. Now, one thing that you can do to extend pad life is use our pad conditioner when the pad is brand new. This provides lubricating agents. It wets the pad, just takes 1 spray, and then you put your polish on. And you only do this once, so a single bottle of pad conditioner will last you an entire lifetime. It's just one spray and helps extend the life of the pad. Now, are these pads toast? Should I throw them in the garbage now? Well, no, not at all. Now that I'm done with the vehicle, I can actually clean these pads using our polishing pad cleaner, which I'll showcase here in a second. And what this will do is this is going to remove the spent residue, the abrasive particles, the dead paint that I removed, all the above, so I can use these pads again. So that's for a polishing step. Now let's say this Miata was just absolutely trashed and I had to use our swirl remover with, let's say, a yellow pad. The more aggressive compounding or polishing that you're doing, the more wear on the pad. So while I could probably get away with using these white polishing pads again because I wasn't removing any deep defects, I was at a lower speed, I wasn't applying a ton of pressure, I can use these again. However, if I had to compound the vehicle first with a more aggressive pad, more aggressive polish, higher speed, more pressure, the pad would be toast after this one detail. So cutting pads, plan on one detail. If I were to do this Miata, a cutting step with a compound, I would use about 3 or 4 cutting pads and then they'd go in the garbage. 1 or 2 might be able to be spared for a future fender or door, but overall, pads are inexpensive when it comes time to detail your vehicle. It's a small cost to achieve a gloss like this. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these foam pads out. Polishing pad cleaner makes it simple to clean your pads. It's a spray-on formula and it was developed specifically for foam, wool, and microfiber pads, and it breaks up and dissolves the spent residue, the polish, the abrasives, and it rinses freely. Using something like dish soap will stay in the pad and it'll break down the foam over time. So using polishing pad cleaner is simple. Turn your faucet on hot water, take the product, come on in here, don't be shy, and I'm going to spray it on the pad. Spray a generous amount. I like to wear gloves. I have sensitive skin, and right now it's really cold here in Florida. By cold, I mean 45 degrees. So I'm wearing gloves. I'm going to work the cleaner through the pad. Add some water, help flush out the old residue. And I'm simply massaging the pad. And I'm pressing out the cleaner along with the old residue, the polish, the dead paint that was removed from my Miata, which make sure you check out that video. It's amazing. The before and after is simply incredible. Wring the pad out. Do this a few times. And you can see this pad looks brand spanking new. I could actually send this pad to one of you guys if you ordered it, and you wouldn't really know the difference. So that's a pad after being cleaned with polishing pad cleaner. And here is the before. So there's a massive difference. And a tip for these pads, let them air dry with the backing material facing up, because water will run down. If you have it dry like this, water will naturally run down because of gravity, and it'll cause the backing material to delaminate over time. So thoroughly rinse them out, put them face down so the water runs this way. If you have a lot of pads, or if you're like to get technical with things, some people will get a box fan from Home Depot, 20 bucks, and they'll put it on a low speed setting, put it on the ground, and put the pads on top of it. So if you detail for a living, or if you're spending a whole day polishing your car and your wife's car, this is a fast way to get the pads dry. So that's polishing pad cleaner, and that's how many pads it takes to detail your vehicle. If you like videos like this, click subscribe, turn on notifications, and most importantly, shop at McKee's37.com. Without you guys, we wouldn't exist. Our YouTube channel is funded by our website. Take care, and God bless.